Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the New England Disc Golf Productions coverage of the 2019 Vacationland Open.
This is round 2 coverage of the Men's Pro Open Lead Card Division. My name is Ryan Zewski, and joining me,
Phil Denoncourt, aka Lerch.
We would like to thank our sponsors who helped us make this possible. Our premier event sponsor is Infinite Discs. Be sure to check them out at infinitediscs.com.
Also, our season sponsor is Rapscallion Brewery. You can visit their brewery, tap room, disc golf course at Sturbridge, Mass. Find them online at drinkrapscallion.com.
The Vacationland Open is being played at Stephen Mountain View. What do you think of the course, Lerch?
This is a local favorite of mine. It's a good blend of wooded and field holes, both short and long. It's a very good favorite of mine.
Now, it's not only attracting the local players, but pro players as well, and you're going to see that in our coverage today. Starting us off is Chris Clemons from Kansas City, Missouri, rated at 1024.
Second on our card today is going to be Trevor Harbolt from New Caney, Texas. His PDGA rating is a 1005.
Jordan Castro is going to be our third player today at 1021, sponsored by Dynamic Discs.
Rounding out our car is a local boy, Jason Dore from East Waterboro, Maine. His PDGA rating is a 1012.
All right, after the first round, Chris Clemons is leading our field at 2 strokes. By 2 strokes at 12 down, followed by Trevor Harbolt and Jordan Castro at 10 down, and local favorite boy Jason Dore at 9 down.
Starting off this round is hole 1. It's a par 3 at 215 feet. It's a shorty downhill with options both to the left and right. Zewski, what do you think about this hole?
It's one of my favorite holes. I mean, it's just a little throw. Mostly you're going to see a putter, especially by these pros. Now, Chris Clemons is going to start us off. He's throwing a VIP harp, throws it out to the left, and it looks like he gets it in the circle. Now, Trevor is going to be throwing a ESP zone. He's taking an opposite lane to the right, and he's parked. Third is Jordan Castro throwing a Fusion Justice. Looks like he's going to take the flick lane as well to the left.
Playing it a little soft, it looks like, but he's definitely going to be there for a nice, easy 2-putt.
Yeah, he hung it out a little bit, but this is definitely a hole that it's either deuce or die. You got to get this first one.
For sure. This definitely sets the pace of the course.
And Jay Dore is throwing a Champ Firebird.
Looks like he's a little bit too wide on that one, but knowing Jay Dore, he can probably can this.
All right, let's see if he can.
Oh, and he does.
He gets it.
Also, Jay Dore, only one on this card pulling off a fedora. A very bold move.
Let's see if Jordan Castro can cash his. And he does. Now Chris Clemons is third. And he cashes the deuce as well.
Trevor up last, just tapping in for a nice easy 2 on that one.
All right, so the first hole, we have our first star frame. Everybody cashes the 2. That makes Chris at -13, Trevor and Jordan at -11, and Jay Dore at -10.
Up next, we have hole 2 with OBs on the right side and an island on the left. This is a par 3 at 276 feet. Knowing these pros, they're probably going to be throwing an overstable mid or a really overstable putter.
Yeah, and this hole plays uphill. It's a little longer than 276, and we have a OB on the right side, I believe.
Also on the left, there's a bit of an island.
Looks like Chris has no problem with it. He puts it within about 10 feet. Let's see what Trevor can do.
Trevor going out to the right over the OB with something stable, hoping it gets a little bit shorter. Landing inbounds, but a little bit wider than he hoped. Should be a neat, nice, easy one there.
All right, Jordan.
Going on the right side, maybe looks like a mid or a putter. Looks a little bit shorter than what he expected, but also inside the circle, it looks like.
And Jay Dore up next, throwing his P2. taking the big hyzer lane and easily putting it in the circle. See if Jordan can convert. And he puts his proto guard in the heart of the chains, easily converting for the 2. Trevor going to be throwing his pro defocus. Also easily converting for the 2. Dore up next, throwing his blue Firefly. Easy conversion for him. And let's see if Chris can convert with his hard judge. Shouldn't be a problem.
As a local, we have a saying, anything outside of 7 feet we call less than a lurch, which is usually a pickup.
So for the listeners that don't know, Lerch is about 7'9" feet tall.
On a good day.
Yeah, so if he bends down, he usually hits his head.
Hole 3 is another par 3, 311 feet. You basically have 3 lines at this. You have straight at it, or you're going to go over the trees on either side of this. Very attackable hole, very easy.
Now, I'm always interested in which lane people take here, because you can go straight down the middle, but you got trees to the left and the right. Looks like Chris is going to avoid all the trees and go up and over. Looks like he's right about at circle's edge. Now Trevor's going to be throwing his Discraft Force. Also going up and over. About the same, but a different location, circle's edge. Next up, Jordan throwing his Fusion Criminal. I have no idea what lane he just took, but it looked like up and over.
Oh, it looks pretty good to me.
He parked it tombstoned right at the basket's bottom.
That is definitely less than a lurch on that one.
Dore throwing overhand.
Sit down. Oh, sit down.
Taking a difficult bounce. Just barely missing the putt.
If he was my height, it probably would have went in.
All right, Trevor going for his 2. Hitting the band. Next up, we have Chris. Cashing his birdie 2.
I believe that is a turkey for him now.
That is a turkey for Chris. Trevor cleaning up.
Now, while they're cleaning up in this hole, Zewski, I gotta ask you a question. Who do you think has better hair on this card? Do you think it's Chris or do you think it's Trevor?
I think it's probably Dore, but it's hidden by his fedora.
Oh, that is true.
All right, so after 3 holes, we have Chris Clemons at -15, followed by Jordan Castro, -13, Trevor at -12, and Dore at -11. Tell us about hole 4.
Up next, we have hole 4. It's a par 3, 202 feet. Pretty much a straightforward hole. It's right in front of you. You can either attack directions or you can go right at it.
Yeah, it has a couple guardian trees around the way and some weird footing if you're a little short or a little long. Now Chris is throwing his VIP harp. A little short, but pretty easy. I think he'll convert for the 2. Next up, we have Jordan Castro throwing his zone.
Well, I hope not. He's sponsored by Dynamic. It looks like he has a Fusion Justice on that one. Up
You're
next,
right.
we have Trevor.
Trevor is
Trevor's
throwing his
zone. Out on the right side, a little bit stable. Pretty much right at it.
Nice skip up to the basket. And Dore, what's he throwing?
That looks like a P2. I'm just kidding. That's what my notes say.
It is a P2. He goes far to the left, and you can hear him saying, Jay. He's one of the more vocal players. You'll hear him a lot through this round. See if he can convert for his 2, and he does.
Well done, Jay Dore.
Next up is Jordan. And, I thought he was going to convert. He splashed out. Looks like he'll have to settle for the 3. See if Chris can do better. Easy conversion. Trevor should have no problem getting his 2. And Jordan cleaning up his 3. He looks disappointed. All right, so after 4 holes, Chris at -16. Jordan and Trevor. Jordan lets Trevor catch up at -13, and Jay Dore just behind at -12.
Up next, we're going to have hole 5. This is a par 3, 390 feet. It's pretty much a fielded hole, but it drops off to the right with a couple guardian trees.
It's a little misleading. It's a slight gradual uphill, so it plays a little longer than 390. Let's see what Chris is going to do. He's going to be throwing his Fusion Enforcer. All right, I think Chris was just about circle's edge. Trevor throwing the Big Z crank.
It looks like he cranked it over to the right just a little bit.
Yeah, not too bad. He's going to be outside, but he's got a chance. All right, Jason throwing the TL. And
a
he
little
flipped
bit
it
too much
over.
power on that one as well.
All right, let's see what Jordan's going to do with his Fusion Enforcer.
Bringing it out way to the right, but looks like it could stable up here. And right on the rock's edge right there.
Yeah, the rocks are about 30 feet out, so it's about circle's edge. Jay Dore with the step putt. Oh, just barely misses.
Just gauging it. But big smiles.
Trevor.
Doing a little half step there.
Trevor also barely misses. Let's see if Chris can convert for the 2.
Oh, 3 for 3.
3 for 3.
You think there's a force field around this basket, Susie?
It seems like it. Let's see if Jordan can get through for the 2. After missing that putt last round, I think he wants to. And he gets it. So Jordan converts for the 2. Everyone else is going to clean up for their 3. And Jordan is going to gain a stroke on the rest of the field. All right, moving on to hole 6. Looks like Chris still has the lead at -16. Trevor loses a stroke to Jordan. Jordan's at -14. Trevor at -13. And Jay Dore just one behind at -12. Tell us about hole 6.
All right, hole 6 is going to be another par 3, 363. This year we have a really tight OB on the left as well as an OB on the right around the Porter Pooper.
I don't think we've ever seen that tight OB to the left. I think wherever you aired it out, that's what they played, but they adding OB for the first time this year. Let's see what Jordan does with his Fusion Enforcer. Taking the big hyzer route.
Definitely put some stank on it and some air. Oh, and just parks it. Let's see if we can get a little replay on that one. On
The
old
flight tracker.
Going way high, way right, but something overstable and just having it gas out and bloop. I'm just going to park this one and tap in for the 2.
All right, let's see what Chris can do with his proto warhorse. Taking the flick lane. Looking for a big skip. He doesn't get it, but he's still inside the circle, so it's not too bad. Up next, Trevor with his Punisher. Backhand hyzer. And getting it up in the circle as well. Next up, Dore throwing his Innova TL. I think he wanted a little more stable there.
And ooh, looks like it's going to be right on the line.
We're going to have to see if it's inbounds.
And it looks like it might be.
I think it was just about inbounds. He's taking the 3 meter out. Trying to convert his 2.
Ooh.
And gets banded. Not happy about that one. Trevor's going to convert for his 2. Chris about 20 feet out. Also getting his birdie.
Then we have Jordan just breaking out the mop and broom, cleaning up this hole for a nice, easy drop in 2.
And Dore is going to clean up for his par 3. So Jay's going to lose a stroke to the field. Everyone else stays about the same. They're birdieing all of it. Chris is at -17, Jordan at -15, Trevor -14, and Dore losing a stroke to the field at -12.
All right, up next we have hole 7, another par 3, 205 feet. Pretty much a straight shot with an Annie backhand or a flick hyzer.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite holes. It's just a little dump hole. I throw the flick hyzer with a putter. I think you do just about the same. You do a backhand Annie, but it's a nice little break from the bombs that we just threw on the last couple of holes. Jordan not doing so great, finding a tree. See if Chris can avoid that tree. He's going to be throwing a medium harp, left-handed. He misses the rough that he just threw into on the left, but still pretty far. Trevor going to be throwing a Comet. Also finding the rough on the left side. Dore, the local boy, he should probably get through all this.
Yeah, I was about to say he's going to throw something hard on a flick right here, going pretty much straight past it.
Yeah, he's throwing the Firebird. I thought this was an easy hole. It looks like the pros were having a little bit of a difficult time, but I'm sure they're not used to 205-foot holes on tour. Looks like Trevor just barely misses. Let's see if Jordan can convert.
Jordan just a little bit wide of the basket on that one.
Chris just barely hitting the basket. Not happy about that one.
Would you say, Zewski, about 40 out maybe on that one?
That was 40-50. Dore having no problem getting the birdie, so he's gaining that one stroke he lost on the last hole back on the rest of the field. Trevor should have no problem, and Chris and Jordan should be cleaning up easy for the par 3. All right, moving on. After 7 holes, we have 3 pars from Chris, Trevor, and Jordan, and Dore with a solo birdie, gaining a stroke on the rest of the field at -13.
So he's going to start on hole 8 here. This is a par 4, 430 feet. This is a bit of an enigma hole for a lot of people here. You have an alleyway on the left side for a flick, or you can take the backhand way on the right side.
I think this is probably the most difficult hole on the course. That right side looks very attractive, but it's misleading. A lot of people go to the right and they find some kind of tree or hanging branch.
Oh, for sure.
All right, let's see what Dore does. Throwing his TL. Going for the roller, not happy with it, hitting an early tree.
Definitely sounded like he knew that was going to be bad right out of his hand.
All right, next up is Jordan throwing his enforcer. Looks like he's going to be going the right lane. Went straight up the center, missing the first couple trees.
Right down the gut between the birches.
And finding the fairway.
Right in the opening before the woods hole. That should be an ET3 for him.
Yeah, I know this is a pretty short hole for pros at 430, but that's pretty much as good as you can ask for what Jordan just threw. And Chris, left-handed, going the left lane. And he finds a tree with his Explorer. Now Trevor throwing his Punisher. Looks like he's going to be going for the right lane. Keeping it low.
Oh, but he looks like he split those 2 trees right in the middle, but not going much farther after that.
No, let's see if Dore can get up in the fairway.
Oh.
Not happy with that throw. Little low. Chris throwing the flick. Looks like he finds the lane. Not as big as a skip as he wanted to.
No, but he's definitely in the opening in the woods. That should be an easy 3, if not a 4 at worst. Trevor going out to the right with something stable, coming back in, little skippy, and yeah, he's right there.
15-20 feet. If you just heard that, he's probably in the best shape to convert. Ooh, Jordan just misses for his 2. All right, Dore putting it up there. It looks like he gave it a little run and missed, but he's not outside of the circle, so he should be able to convert. See if Chris can convert here. Little jump putt and hitting the band.
And Mitches it right in the band.
These innovative bands are really punishing these guys today.
Or the cage.
Or the cage.
If you're Trevor. Dore sinking his putt here, and I'd like to take some time to ask you, Zewski, is it me or does Dore look like Mac from Always Sunny?
I'm sure he'll appreciate that comment from you.
No, he won't.
No, he absolutely won't. All right, so Jason getting the par 4, Chris getting the par 4. You just saw Jordan. He got the solo birdie on that one with the 3, and Trevor is going to convert for the 4. All right, after 8 holes, looks like Jordan catches up a little bit to Chris with his birdie being 16 down, Chris being 17 down, Trevor being 14 down, and Jay being 13 down. Hole 9 is an interesting hole. What do you think about it?
Oh, it's a par 3, 350 feet. This one is definitely not a straight to the basket. Throwing a backhand, you're definitely going to want to hyzer flex something out here to the field and have it come back. With a flick, I really have no idea because I do not flick.
Well, the left-handers might find a lefty flick through there. See if Jordan can stand up his righty backhand. Looks like it's going to hyzer a little early. He gets that out into the field, but a little far away.
Anything out into the field is a good one on this hole.
All right, Dore, the local boy, going overhand. Looks like he's trying to avoid all the trees, see if he can get it to the basket.
Yep, this stud did this at the MPT on a whim and actually overthrew the basket by 25 feet. Everybody on my card was absolutely blown away.
Well, he gets inside the circle with his overhand. See what Chris does. Looks like he hung it up a little too much. But he has a clear shot to the basket. Should be an easy 3 for him. Trevor throwing his punisher.
Going a little high, but definitely he's getting out into the field.
I think you saw the local boy Jason just avoid all the trees. Maybe tried for that. Chris throwing the flick.
Oh!
And he gets
from
the birdie.
Downtown, Chris. See if we can get a little
see that one
flight
more time.
tracker.
No flight tracker on this one, but we get the replay. And
Nothing
he
but peanut butter
smashes
and
it.
jelly for the 2.
Damn, from the gallery. Let's see what Trevor does. Little step putt. Oh, and he hits the cage. Jordan stepping up, trying to convert for his birdie. It looks like he's going to lose another stroke to Chris. Jason, easy conversion. Chris with the big birdie throw in. And let's throw it to our sponsor.
Oh no. Alright.
All right, we'd like to thank our sponsor, Infinite Discs. Moving on to the back 9, hole 10. What do you got to say about this one, Lerch?
This is a par 3, 307 feet. This is a big dog leg to the right. With flickers, you're going to throw something high and something overstable. With backhands, you're going to throw something on an ante and just put it out and pray.
Yeah, I choose to throw the big. Oh, let's see what Dore is going to do. Huge ante. It's not
Coming
looking
in
bad.
with a nice glide, and yep, that looks pretty good.
That's about as good as you can hope for. This is a blind basket. You can't really see what you're throwing into. Chris throwing a similar line. Big spike hyzer.
Being a lefty, I think he's going to have a little bit more help on this one.
Yeah, maybe not. He's a little shorter than Jay. See what Jordan does.
Jordan going out way wide on the ante here. But it's definitely going to glide out. And yeah, just a little too long on this one.
A little long. Let's see what Trevor can do with his Discraft focus. Throwing the ante line.
Looks like it just went up and gassed out a little bit on that one.
Looks like Trevor's going to lay up for his par 3. Chris doing the same.
It's a smart play here. It drops off in the back and it gets a little nasty if you go too far. So
Yeah, and you have those rocks there that can really stand up a disc for the rollaway.
oh, for sure. Especially when I'm putting.
Jordan also doing the same thing, so it looks like Jay is going to get the solo 2. Taking another stroke on the leaderboard.
The local boy's coming back, it looks like a little bit.
All right. And Chris, Jordan, and Trevor going to clean up their threes, and we're going to move on to hole 11. After 10, it looks like Dore catches up by 1 stroke. He's 15 down. Passing Trevor at 14 down. Jordan Castro at 16, and I don't know what Chris was
at
at.
18, I'm pretty sure.
18 down.
This is hole 11. It's going to be a par 3. It's 355 feet. It's definitely in the woods. There's pretty much one lane down, right in the middle, to the right a little bit. You're going to want to break something understable if you're backhanding or flick something.
Yeah, this is another one that it's probably one of the top 3 most difficult holes on the course. Jay's going to go backhand, probably something understable.
As you can see from this shot, it's not really indicated where this line is. So if you get off the fairway on this one, good luck, God bless, and put the kids to bed.
Yeah, you're probably going to try to pitch out to get the easy par, but not an easy hole. Looks like Chris is going to go for the lefty backhand. I think he should have thrown something a little more understable. And I'm wrong. He gets the skip right to the basket.
Yep, and that's why he's playing pro and you're not, Zewski.
Let's see the flight tracker.
And the flight tracker just outlining where this was so good and where Zewski was wrong on this throw.
Yeah, I couldn't have been more wrong. All right, let's see what Jordan does. Throwing his fuse. Catching a tree.
And just kicking out.
All right, Trevor. Throwing the big Z Mantis.
It looks like he hit the same tree Jordan did on that one.
Yeah, but he's going to catch the fairway, so it's not as bad. See if Jay can convert. Big jump putt.
Can he do it?
Oh, catching that last guardian tree.
Jordan just coming up short and hitting the tree for a nice easy 3 on that.
That's 2 for 2 on that guardian tree. Let's see if he can get the third one. Trevor going a little long, but missing that tree.
Someone definitely ate their Wheaties today with that putt.
Chris should have no problem converting for his 2.
I do believe Chris is 100% within a Lerch so far this round.
And the rest of the guys should have no problem converting for their par 3s. But Chris extending his lead with his solo birdie. All right, moving on to hole 12. After 11 holes, Chris extended his lead to 19 down, followed by Jordan at 16, Trevor at 14. Jason at 15 and Trevor at 14.
Up next, we have hole 12. That's another par 3 at 218 feet. The two options in this one are straight down the middle with something overstable or throwing on the left side with something a little anty.
All right, Chris is going to start us off throwing his fuse. There's another short hole. Normally going to see mostly putters on this hole. Chris trying to go right down the middle and hitting a tree on the right. Now the local boy, let's see if he can find a local lane. Jason throwing his P2.
Just piping it right down the middle. Looks like he's going to be a little bit outside the circle, maybe?
It looks like about circle's edge. Let's see if Jordan can do any better with his harp.
A little bit wide, but it looks like, oh, no.
He catches the tree and gets the roll away. Now Trevor throwing his buzz. Looks like he's going the Anheuser lane to the left.
Gliding out just a little bit, almost hitting the cameraman on that one, but where is he in the location of the basket?
I think it worked out for him.
Not too shabby.
All right, up next is Chris trying to convert for the 2. So he's a little far out. Goes for the flex flick.
Ooh.
Little short. Ooh, Jordan going right away, right after him for the easy layup. Trevor. Converts for his birdie 2. See if Jason can also get the birdie. Easy. Looking real modest with that putt.
Yes.
See if Jordan converts for his 3, and Chris should have no problem getting his 3 as well.
He doesn't hit his head on the basket with this one.
All right, moving on to hole 13. Chris, I believe, is still in the lead at 19 down. Jordan and Jason at 16 down. And Trevor at 15 down.
Yep. Up next, we're going to have hole 13. This is pretty much the last attackable short hole on this one. It's the par 3, 229 feet. You're going to come out of the woods into the open field. Pretty much was this hole, just get out of the woods and get close on this one and don't hit first available.
Yeah, there's an interesting group of trees right on it makes it trouble for the right-hand backhand player. It's
Or
almost
Zewski.
in that lane. Yeah, or me. Let's see if Jason can avoid it with the right-hand backhand. Easily does, but doesn't sound happy about his throw. He's going to hyzer out a little early. Up next, we have Trevor throwing his buzz. Like it's right at it, might be a little short, but easily in the circle. And we have Chris throwing his harp. Looks like he's going to go for the flex lane. See if it'll turn over.
Ooh, that's looking good.
Hole 13, Chris Clemons with the ace.
Little flight tracker action on this one.
flight
Looks like he's coming
tracker.
out to the right, coming over with an understable and bang,
And
right in the basket.
smashes it. Looks like he's pretty happy about that one. Getting some love from the card.
I'd be pretty happy too if I just aced that hole.
Yeah. And let's see if Jordan can follow that up. It's like he went for a similar shot, but didn't flex back.
Heart, baby.
All smiles on this hole. Nice. Well done, Chris.
Ooh.
Dore just splashing out on that one.
See if Jordan can convert. And he converts for the 2. Trevor should have no problem converting for his 2. And Jason's going to clean up his par 3. Now, Chris
Apparently
with that
having a yard sale with his bag on this hole.
Chris with that ace is nothing like getting an ace when you're already in the lead.
Yeah, that's just putting salt on the wound and rubbing your nose in it, really.
Yeah, so Chris is going to be at 21 down, followed by Jordan at 17, and Trevor and Jason at 16 down. Well, what can you tell us about hole 14?
Well, this is hole 14. It's par 4. It's 480 feet. You're going to start out in the woods, come out into the field, go up a hill, and you're going to punch through these little birches here back into another field out here. This is definitely a ripper type hole on this. Zewski, what do you think?
Yeah, you need a big arm and a big disc to get to this hole. It's pretty gradual uphill as well, so it plays a little longer than 480.
Yep.
Really, the goal for most players is just to get to that tree line and get right in that gap that Chris is gonna get through.
Make it look pretty easy, actually.
He does make it easy. That's about as best you can hope for. Looks like he's still about 100, 120 away, but that's not a bad shot at all.
If you look in the background here, there's a gentleman in a black shirt and red sunglasses. This is actually one of our tournament directors, Jamie White.
Jamie does a lot of work for me. See, that's pretty much what you're looking for on this hole. Get right to that gap and have an easy shot at the basket from there.
Yeah, if you're not punching through the trees, you just kind of want to get in the gap there and set yourself up for the nice easy 3 on this one.
Right.
Jordan throwing a hyzer flex on this one, punching right through the gap, going to be pretty much short of Chris, but going to have a good look.
All right, let's see if Jay can make up for the par 3 he got on the last hole. Throwing his destroyer. Looks like it's a little high.
Keep going. Keep going. That's fine. Not too bad.
He gets past the trees, so it's not too bad.
Trevor punching out of the trees on this. Looks like he's throwing a mid or an overstable putter. Going a little bit past the basket, but definitely should be the easy 3. Dore punching out of the trees a little bit short of the basket, but definitely another easy 3. Jordan kind of a half a jump putt on this one and putting it right next to it. Zewski, is your mic off, buddy? What's going on here?
No, I'm just looking at the notes, seeing what I'm going to say next. Let's see what Chris can do. Putting an easy flick right at the basket, so that should be no problem for everybody converting for their par 3s. Dore with the 3. Jordan up next. Never mind, it's Chris. And Chris getting the easy 3. And Jordan cleaning up. All right, moving on to hole 15. Chris is still in the lead at -22, followed by Jordan at 18 down, and Trevor and Jason at 17 down.
All right, this is hole 15 here in the corner of the property, shooting back in. It's going to be a par 3, 391 feet. We're basically starting in the corner of the property here and shooting into the tree line here. The most common approach here is going to be a big hyzer coming back in.
Yeah, I'd agree. It really doesn't matter if you go the Anheuser or the flick right hand. You're going to have the same obstacles on either throw. Looks like Chris is going to go with the lefty flick, flexing it out. Goes a little long on that right side. Trevor taking the same lane.
Trevor shooting a nuke OS on this one.
And he gets a nice little skip right at the basket. Jordan going to be throwing the criminal, similar lane. Looks like he hung it out a little too far. Let's see if it can come back.
Oh, these things are overstable. I think he can.
Yeah, it came back. He's inside the circle, so it's not too bad. Dore throwing his rock 3. He's going to disc down from everyone else. See if it works out.
Let's see if he can flex it.
He flecked it a little too far.
Oh, yeah.
Held that Anheuser lane.
I think someone definitely had an extra scoop of whey protein this morning.
Let's see if he can make up for it with the big jump putt.
Ooh.
Looks like he was chain high, but a little right. Chris up next. See if he can put his hard judge into the heart of the chains. Up next, Jordan. His proto guard. Easy conversion. Dore trying to get his par 3. And he hits the band.
Hits the band.
Not happy about that.
No.
So the first bogey on the card. And Trevor getting the birdie. So Dore is going to lose 2 strokes to the leader card. Everyone else birdie. Chris is at 23 down. Jordan at 19 down. Trevor at 18 down. And losing 2 strokes, Dore at 16 down. What do you have to say about hole 16?
All right, up next, hole 16, a par 3, 550 feet. This one is definitely challenging as it's going to be OB on the left side here and also on the right where the large trees and bushes are. This is basically a long drive contest for a lot of people and see how big your guns are, really.
Yeah, and most people are going to take that lane to the left, throwing OB most of the way and trying to hyzer it back in like Chris is doing with his left hand.
Yeah, and Chris throwing an enforcer on here, making it look pretty good. Trevor up next, throwing a force, it looks like.
He's going to follow the inbounds area. Coming down.
Right in the middle there, next to the tree with all the bushes on it.
Yeah, that's not too bad. It's probably about 350 out to there. Let's see what Jordan's going to do with his enforcer. Taking a similar line as Trevor.
Yeah, throwing right-handed backhand here. You basically just want to follow that tree line inside and Just basically stay in the middle there and just set yourself up for a nice easy 3.
Yeah, this is pretty much a placement shot unless you're going to be left-handed backhand or a flick. You're going to throw over the OB and hope for the best. Dore throwing out a flex. Doesn't sound happy about this one.
Ooh, but stays inbound for the local boy.
Yeah, he throws his destroyer further than anyone else. Chris with the placement shot. And coming right at the basket. Up next, Trevor. Trying to do a similar shot. I don't think anyone's really going to be going for the 2 right now. Just putting it right next to the basket.
No, this hole's pretty far, and basically everybody's going to probably lay up for a 3 on this one.
Jordan. Looks like he might have given it a run. Ooh, and he hits the basket. Let's see the replay here.
And right off the top.
And if he missed that, he might have taken a big skip off it. So that was all or nothing there. Dore throwing the flick lane. Here. And also coming very close to the basket. Chris is going to convert for his 3. Dore stepping up. Should have no problem for his 3 as well.
Jordan from, it looks like about 10 feet, maybe a little bit less, making it look easy for a par.
And Trevor, the easy cleanup. Moving on to hole 17. We have the par frame from everybody. Everybody converts for the 3. Chris is going to be going into the lead into hole 17 at 23 down, followed by Jordan at 19, Trevor at 18, and Jason at 16.
All right, hole 17, another par 3, 410 feet. This hole has OB all the way on the right where the longer grass is. Basically what you want to do here is pump one deep and have it come back on the left.
Now you might be noticing the great drone footage.
This drone footage is provided by Ben Jumper and thebenjumper.com. If you need any wedding photography, videos, or drone coverage, look up my buddy Ben Jumper.
All right, Chris throwing the left-hand flick. He's a little short, but that's not a bad throw at all. Trevor throwing the right-hand backhand, going up over the OB.
And being a focus, come on, be stable, and just getting inside the OB line on that one.
And he's safe. Let's see what Jordan does.
Like Jordan's throwing the enforcer on this one, probably going the same route, up and over, something stable, flirting with that OB line. Can he get a little bit in the rocks? Oh no, but he's gonna be there for a nice easy 2-look.
Yeah, that might be misleading, but it's inside the circle. And Jay throwing his destroyer up over the OB, a little wide,
a little high,
getting a nice kick and coming right down. Trevor from
laying
his knee.
it all out. Just coming up a little bit of short. Going to be a nice easy 3 for Jordan. Chris from under the bush.
Little step putt and cashes it for the 2.
Surprised he didn't hit his head on that branch.
Dore from outside the rock wall. Also finding the 2. Great putt. And Jordan from just inside Dore. Let's see if he can convert. And he does as well. Birdie 2 for Jordan.
I believe that's birdies for everybody except the old Trevster on this one.
Yeah, Trevor is going to take the par 3.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that putt was a little shorter than his hair on that one.
All right, so going into hole 18, the last hole of this round. Chris is going to be at 24, Jordan at 20, Trevor at 18, and Dore at 17.
All right,
if you look to the left, you're going to see Tyler Grady as we go to the drone footage.
All right, 18th hole, par 3, 301 feet. Basically, you're going to throw over the gully between two trees and come up on a slow rising hill for this one. It might be 301, but it definitely plays a little bit longer.
It does, but this is similar to the first hole where it's deuce or die. You want to get it out there and finish off strong. Chris is going to be throwing his verdict.
Ooh, and great
and flirting with it. He gets right there. Jordan is going to finish off with his triple X. Backhand, right hand.
Do you think he selected that disc because it matched his shirt?
I don't know.
Ah.
Dore is going to be finishing off with his P2. Big pump, straight at it.
Ooh.
Inside the circle. And Trevor finishing with his Predator. Also getting inside the circle. Jordan is going to convert. He's going to try to convert for his 2. And hits the cage.
I thought you were going to give away spoilers on that one.
Let's see if Dore can convert. He also misses. Trevor going for his 2. And he gets the first 2 on hole 18.
Waving to the crowd on that one.
All right, Chris, the leader, should have no problem getting his birdie 2.
If you look in the background, you can actually see my car behind that tent with the trunk open. For anybody who's wondering, yes, I still drive a Saab.
Dore and Jordan cleaning up for their par 3.
All right.
All right, so after the second round, Chris is going to be at 25 down, Jordan at 20 down, Trevor at 19, and Jason at 17 down. So it looks like we're going to see a couple different players on the final round lead card.
Luckily for you, though, we'll be joining you for round 3 coverage, so stay tuned and we will see you in a bit.